Hello. I hope you're doing well and have had a great week and are ready for a lot of fun as you enter into the weekend. So just a quick video to have you thinking about something that may resonate well with you and certainly has been one of my biggest lifelong learning processes. And perhaps for some of us it's more difficult or easy than for others. For me, it's been a challenging journey. And that journey is learning how to let go. And there are so many different levels of letting go that we experience in our lifetimes. And I'll give a few examples of that. But suffice to say, because of the type of person I am, I always like to understand why I am the way that I am. And why, if letting go can be such a beneficial process for me and for others, why has it been so difficult for me to learn this and to make it a practice in my life? Why do we resist things that are actually good for us? That is a question that I often pursue when it comes to health and wellness, whether it's mental health or physical health. But this one specifically for me, sort of on the mental level, why is it that I try and hang on so tight to either my ideas or my way of thinking, to the way that I would like things to work out? Jobs, partners, things that I've outgrown, things that are not good for me, things that are not healthy. It's a behavior that I've had to explore extensively, because if I don't understand why I do it, then for me it's difficult to figure out how to not do it or to fully accept that it's a behavior that needs changing. So what I understand is that people who come from those difficult childhoods where things were very dysfunctional and there was very little control happening in the household, and that includes controlled behaviors on the part of my parents, my siblings, things being in chaos a lot of drama, a lot of raised voices, a lot of just inappropriate behavior, people's inability to have any sort of emotional wellness, a lot of physical dysfunction in terms of, in my case, alcoholism in the family. So a lot of chaos and dysfunction. And the one thing I can recall that I was sharing with someone today, that when I was a kid, the one thing that I was very obsessed with was cleanliness. And I didn't really know why, it didn't really matter, but usually on a Saturday, I would spend close to a full day, even at the young age of 9 or 10 years old, spending hours cleaning from top to bottom our house. That would also include things like cleaning all the sterling silver dinnerware and the tea service and the serving dishes and, a crazy amount of stuff that was there in our dining room, and then the entire house, bathrooms, vacuuming, everything. And all I know is that I felt good when the process was done. I also knew how badly I felt once things started to get into disarray again. And I had to sort of deal with that unto myself, because I don't really recall anyone really caring that I had done this. Maybe my mom appreciated it, but otherwise there was very little comment from anyone. It wasn't like anyone else really cared. But what I came to learn later on in life was that that was one of the very few things that I had a tiny bit of control over when I was a kid living in that household. I could control for a day, for a half a day, the cleanliness and orderliness of my home, and that felt good. All the rest was out of control, and I don't know that I attempted to try and control it. I just sort of backed away from it all, and you sort of just, it was every man for himself in that, every man, every woman, every child for themselves in that household. So otherwise you just kind of stood back and stayed silent, actually. So as an adult, I found that I was often trying to control the outcomes of situations, manipulation, sometimes lying about things that I really didn't need to lie about. I also didn't understand that behavior until I further understood that I did not tell the truth a lot to friends and other people in my life about how my life really was at home. That would not have been cool. And so you learn to lie to protect yourself. And again, it's a behavior that you take forward as an adult that serves you no good purpose. It was just something that you learned. You don't sometimes even know why you're doing it. So this control thing, trying to control the outcome of things to the point of manipulating or even being dishonest. What I've come to understand that to be is a pattern of behavior that says to me, if I don't control the outcome, if I don't get the outcome that I think is the best outcome for myself and for others, then I'm not safe. Then I'm afraid. Then I feel lost. Then I trigger all of these old feelings of not being able to do anything about my circumstances. So learning to let go, and what I like to say today is let go and let God, or let go and let the universe decide the outcome of things, has been very challenging for me. However, as I've learned this process, it's been hugely beneficial, and it always works out for the better. And the way in which I see it today is that it's fine to make a plan. It's fine to have intentions of writing a book, starting a business, starting a family, buying a home, moving. Whatever it may be, it's fine to have intentions. We need intentions. We need goals in our lives. But to get very, very focused on the exact end result of my efforts almost always sets me up for disappointment and potentially failure. It is not my role to determine the how of every single detail of what's going to happen in order for me to move or to start a family or to start a business. I simply have to have an intention. I need to write out some goals, and I need to be able to adjust and be flexible and be open to suggestion, open to change, open to having to shift my plans sometimes in order to reach the end goal of starting a business or starting a family. If I have very, very, very specific end goal in mind when I start, that does not work. It's day by day, little steps take me to where I want to go. With faith that the universe is listening to me, feeling my good vibration, not my worry vibration, not my it's got to be this way or else vibration, not the I'm so fearful if I don't have it happen exactly that way, I'll have to throw the whole idea in the garbage. So the letting go of control and trusting, and that's another issue that can come from a lot of childhood trauma, is lack of trust of other people or how things will turn out if I don't try and have my hands on it, is part of that process of why You may not like to let go, but the letting go allows energy to flow. And that's why they also tell us that what we resist persists. So if I am resisting something that comes up that says I'm going to have to alter my plan, or maybe I've got to do that a different way, or maybe there's a better way, maybe someone else has an idea that would be worth listening to, instead of just driving forward with my own set goal in mind. This is where I've learned that to let go is to let the universe work things out energetically based on my requests and my desires. And a lot of worry and stress and concern, especially about living in the future, around things that may or may not happen. But me putting my energy towards trying to predict that and then trying to work out all the details around it is such a waste of energy. And it just causes frustration and can really alienate the people around you as well. And children teach you this a lot. I mean, we want to guide our children. We want the best for our children. We want to support them in every way. But when we try and do everything for them, rescue and save them, cover up mistakes, or they forgot their homework and you're rushing it over to them, let's say, or they're not facing the consequences of their own actions because it seems too painful to have them have to face those consequences, so we're going to fix it for them. That, of course, is not good parenting. It doesn't teach independence. It doesn't teach them that there are consequences for their behaviors. And it does them a disservice later in life. And I think I did quite a bit of that when my kids were growing up. And so, and also if they were behaving in ways that I didn't feel were appropriate or not good for them, telling them that they were doing things wrong, telling them that they were a failure. I got very aggressive sometimes with my kids, sort of trying to, I hate to admit it, but almost make them feel guilty or make them feel badly in order for them to change the behavior. And I learned many times over that this doesn't work, and it can be extremely detrimental to the child and to the parent and to the relationship between the two. So letting children go, especially as they get older, to make their own decisions, and then let them fall if they need to fall, and let them stand up again, and let them learn something from that. This was very difficult for me to do. I really wanted to have control of outcomes and how things worked out. And I thought I was trying to save them pain and suffering. But in the end, what I realized is I was trying to save myself from feeling pain and suffering if they faced difficulties. So it actually was quite a selfish thing as well. But, for me, it was just an ingrained behavior of fear, of not trusting that outcomes could be okay. Because outcomes in my home as a kid were pretty much never okay. So letting go, letting the universe work out the details, just having the intention, set the goals, have faith, keep your energy high, and your outcomes will work out in your favor. Let go of outcome, and you will find that you get the best results ever. Now that's my message. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the heart. I'm not sure which side this is going to show up. I think it's going to be over here now. If you'd like to subscribe, share videos if you find them valuable. You can find Pure Power Coaching on Facebook. You can join our group there. I'm on Instagram at Pure Power Coaching. And always happy to receive your messages, comments, and feedback. And thank you for your time. Have a great weekend.